Alright, so welcome folks. This is Moontime Dweller. We're playing Pauper Zombies here. Once our opponent lets us start the game. I joined just the tournament practice room. We're not doing a paid match for this. This deck is so low budget that it will lose to a lot of the the tier Pauper decks and the better the mono blues and the boggles and stuff like that. So at first I'm gonna try tournament practice, and if that doesn't really work, then and we actually start beating a lot of people pretty badly, then we'll see and we'll move on. But for right now, I'm just in tournament practice. Because I feel like, we're going to run into tier decks anyway. So this is going to be mono blue most likely. Opponent let that sit out there for a while. I'm not sure why they had to read it. I guess because it's not really a great card. So I guess it looks like it might be just red-blue counterburn. Playing another Delver, I just saw that they revealed a lightning bolt off the top of their deck. So that makes me believe it's red-blue. Of course I'll pay a life here. Put that gem palm on the line. I don't know if I'm going to do the gem palm. I don't think I'm going to do that this turn. I'm definitely going to put this Delver on the line though. So definitely going to take two here, and we'll just drop this other little guy that they don't have to worry about. So cracking that Evolving Wilds to thin out their deck, I guess. Go find a mountain. I would think that's probably a better way to play than have all those dual lands that come in tapped, especially if you just don't worry about countering anything on the first couple of turns. You can just get as many Evolving Wilds out as possible, and then just have them come in tapped at the end of the opponent's turn. It's probably one of the better ways to play. So of course it looks like they drew the mountain, because I would think they would play another island here if they had one. Kiln Fiend. Okay, so this is more of a not so much a counter deck. This is like more of an all-in deck. So this one, whenever they cast an instant or sorcery, it doesn't matter if they target the Kiln Fiend. The Kiln Fiend itself gets +3/+0 until end of turn. Pretty strong card, pretty quick deck. We'll be in a lot of trouble here. Unless we get this third land, and they just attack with the Kiln Fiend really big, and we can kill it. But that doesn't seem to be the case right now. I'm interested in really just bringing out the Goblin. And I'll attack with both my creatures, because even if the Delvers flip, I can't deal with it, so they're going to do 6 to me regardless. And if they attack with the Kiln Fiend, then I'll be able to block with the Goblin and kill it, hopefully. Depending on how much, defense they gave it, if any. So no blocks, they just go to 14. Definitely need to gain some life here somehow. Only have two mana, of course. Missed a drop there, and of course they're on the play anyway, so they got the drop on us. They may not have a fourth land. Hopefully they don't. Piracy Charm kills my Goblin, huh? Yuck. So I'll make the Fiend go down to a 3-1. And then hopefully they just don't have very many more spells. But either way, we are in dire straits. Gataxian Probe is legal in Pauper, isn't it? Alright. Forget that's a common. That's wild. Alright, well that's game right there. Yep. And they use the bolt they got in their hand. That's 15 damage instead of 12. Or, I guess, 18, because they cast with the Kiln Fiend. Okay. I'm thinking Gangrena Zombies is the winner here. I'm thinking Tendrils is the winner here. Thinking I'll leave one Corrupt in. I'll take out the Diabolic Edict. The recruitments can probably come out. They're probably a little too slow. I think Unmake is definitely good. I think Gem Palm's fine. Maybe just cut that last Corrupt. Yeah. So we're down to 61. I'm okay with a Grey Merchant going for right now. I think Shambleback is really good. And that's the only non-removal spell that I have. Non-removal, non-creature spell that I have, and it creates a creature anyway. So, yeah, we're going to go with that. I'm not sure if they... I don't think they can really cast anything out of their graveyard. Yeah, I think that's fine. Shambleback is... I think... You know, I may be putting too much, you know, loyalty into Shambleback. Maybe Corrupt would be better here because it does target, and if I do happen to get 6 lands out, but I feel like this deck is going to be a lot faster than that. Maybe the Verdicts and the Edict would be better to bring in also, just to have a lot of removal. Because I did bring in creatures, and you know, I brought in 3... What was it? I brought in 4 creatures, and it looks like I only took 1 out. So I got 33 zombies in here. Hopefully we can just overrun them. Because in their deck, I don't think they have a lot of actual removal. I mean, maybe they do. They probably have 4 Piracy Charms and 4 Bolts. But I don't know if they have, like, Fork Bolt and, like, Arc Trail and, you know, all that kind of stuff. Arc Trail might be an uncommon. But, you know what I'm saying. I don't know if they have a lot of just targeted removal in their deck. I would think they have a lot of, you know, like, protection and pump spells and things like that. Like mutagenic growth and things, you know, that are free, essentially, where they just pay 2 life. So I submitted. Hopefully they're ready to go. I mean, they whooped us up pretty bad there, so don't think they're too worried. But Gangrena Zombies will be pretty good, I would think. I mean, I got 2 lands and I got a bunch of, you know, 1 and 2 drops. It's really not bad at all. Turn 1 Dover. As per usual. Well, we got a Gangrena Zombies. That's pretty good. Got a few 1-drops here that'll really help us, I think. I hope. They all essentially do the same thing. The mummies are a tad better because they leave the -1/-1 counter on there. But when you're killing an unflipped Delver, it's not really that big of a deal. Looks like they got a Kiln Fiend, and they revealed it to me, so Delver did not flip. And it seems like they might be looking for red mana. Preordain. I think this is one of the cards that's banned in Modern. I can't remember. So Delver did not flip. And we got our third land. That's pretty strong. I'm thinking Gangrene of Zombies right here. And we're going to bring 3 at him. If they block, then they're real scared. Doubtful that they're real scared, though. I did want to point out one thing. There's an older card that's real similar to these. I think it's called Festering Goblin. So it's a mixture of these two cards, and it's from Onslaught. And you don't really want that card because it says you have to put a -1/-1 on a creature when it dies. So say if like you have the only one with two creatures or whatever, you have to kill your own creature. Really sucks, and I ran into that problem when I first built the deck in paper, and someone knew the wording better than I did, and I quickly turned to Shambling Goblin instead. So we can get out Shambling Ghoul here and do a lot of damage with Gem Palm Polluter. They cast Impulse on their turn, which means they're definitely looking for red mana. And we're just going to Gem Palm them for 5. And draw a card. Seems pretty good to me. Now, I will probably leave the Gangrene Zombies behind. I'm just going to call them the Gangreners. Because they probably could double block with the Delvers and kill kill my creature that could wipe them. So when they flip, I will probably wipe. Well, maybe not, because it will actually kill all my stuff too. It won't kill him though. They will attack, but they're so way behind. They're at 8 so far. Yeah, they're in a lot of trouble. Depending on what they do here. Okay, so they're paying mana for Gataxian Probe to just draw a card right now. This is, I don't know if it's a tier 1 Pauper deck, but it's definitely a very popular Pauper deck. The one I'm playing against. It's, I mean, it's got a lot of great cards in it, and it's very consistent, very aggressive, and can win on, like, turn 3 and 4 a lot of times. But it has to get the right mana draw. Has a lot of cantrips, has a lot of, looking at your top of your, library manipulation. Lot of good stuff in the deck. And it seems like they're getting a lot of the manipulation, but they're not manipulating the deck correctly, I guess, or or just not very lucky. I don't know. Maybe not this time, because last time they got maybe not lucky, but they definitely crushed us. I don't know if they're going to attack. Oh, they are. Okay. So I'm going to be bringing them to 1. Unless I draw, some kind of like Gem Palm or Corrupt, or well, maybe not. Yeah, Corrupt doesn't work. Yeah, I guess Gem Palm would be the only way I could win right now. So they just bounced 2 islands to their hand and played Gush. That's an uncommon version of Gush. What? Ah. Alright. 3rd Delver in 20 cards. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. So I'm just going to bring the team at them. And then I'll probably bring out both the creatures. Against this kind of deck, you're okay overextending. I wouldn't expect them to have Pyroclasm or, well, let's see. Fire Spout would be pretty good, but they would have to have the green part to do it to non-flying creatures. Or no, green hits the flying creatures. Red does hit with creatures without flying. So it's like Earthquake. I doubt they have a mountain. But I'll just go ahead and do this. Not overextend. It seems like you can in this matchup, but it's just never good to overextend in any match. See, they drew a mountain right there. They could most likely have some kind of wipe here. And that would suck. Keeping them at 1 and then they wipe my board and maybe not even theirs because, they have Fire Spout or something. That would really suck. But hopefully they just have absolutely nothing. And we just tap these Gangrene zombies and give them some gangrene. Spread that gangrene all over them. They're pondering. They're wondering. They're thinking. They don't know what they want. So they didn't shuffle their library and they drew the card. So it seems like they got something that's useful. Could be a bolt just on the Gangrene zombies. Gush. Yuck. So he's definitely looking for a bolt. But I'm pretty sure they die even if they do get a bolt on here. I mean, they can attack me down to 8, 7, and then bolt me down to 4. Nope, okay. So, got game 2 there. That's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome. I mean, I like the way this went here. I didn't really get a lot of lands, so I don't think Corrupt is good. Maybe more creature removal. I got a bunch of the 1-drops. That was terrific. Maybe I can bring in the Edict. Well, I can bring in one of the Geth's Verdicts for an unmake, just in case. I don't want to have to be, begging for a 3rd land. And them just beat me down with 1 Delver. That would be just heartbreaking. I want to at least have a chance to draw 1 Geth's Verdict and save me from that kind of scenario. So we got 4 lands. I mean, this is pretty alright. It's not the best hand, especially not for a game 3 when they're on the play. But I'll take it. Hopefully we don't draw very many more lands. We're going to have to wait till turn 2 to get something out on the board. Alright, they revealed another Delver. So most likely another Delver's coming out. Hopefully they just miss a land drop. That would be super. Looks like they missed the land drop. Alright. That is exactly what we needed. They're going to flip these Delvers, I would imagine, next turn by revealing some kind of spell. Hopefully they just get another creature. They got Ponder, so they flip. And we're on a pretty terrible clock right now. So we're taking 6 damage a turn. Only have 19 life. We're on a 3-turn clock. If we don't gain any life here, we got Shamble back, so we could make it a 4-turn clock. I mean, technically it's a 4-turn clock because we're only taking 6 a turn, and you know we're going to be at 1 after the 3, but still going to be pretty rough. So I'll just play both my zombies here. Try to, well, yeah, I'm going to be way behind on life, so Shepherd of Rout will not help too much. Yeah, this will be a tough game here. This, not saying that this deck is anywhere close to as good as the Kiln Fiend deck that we're playing against, but it does seem like whoever wins the dice roll and whoever gets, you know, faster hand can win this match a lot easier. This is, I mean, our deck is aggro, but theirs is super fast aggro, all in. You know, lots of spells, lots of creatures that react from spells, and they just go nuts. So, of course, 6 more at us. I'd imagine they have at least 1 bolt in their hand. So, we'll be taking 6 and going to 7, and I'd imagine a bolt to 4. Yeah. If we can get a Tendrils of Corruption, that'd be really good right now. Gray Merchant, of course, if we can survive. They're pondering whether or not to bolt us right now. They're like, oh no, I'll just do it at the end of their turn and surprise them. Yeah, okay. So we'll cycle here. Make them take 4. Then we draw. Got an unmake. That's pretty strong. If we can actually survive, that would be really good. So we're going to exile the Gem Palm. Hopefully, if they let us. Maybe they're just going to bolt something. So they're making us wait for something here. Electrickery, huh? Well, that does wipe a lot of my stuff out. So we're going to go to 9 off of this. If I hit them right now with this for 4 more, I'd go to 5 and I'd still die. So we have to let this happen. Even if we did put this counter on them, we'd still die. Yep, that was a really good play. Okay, so we're at 9. Hopefully we can still survive here. They've got 4 cards in their hand. Hopefully none of them are direct damage. If they are, we might be done. We are way behind here. Okay, so that's one of their Kiln Fiend type creatures. It gets to switch the power and toughness. Or no, it doesn't switch the power and toughness. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, it gets +3/+7 until in a turn, and it can attack as though it didn't have defender. Okay. I mean, there isn't really much I can do here. I go to 3. Or I go to 4, sorry. Forgot about the Delver gets the counter. I'm going to go to 3, I think. Don't know if it really matters. Yeah, I was going to say, even if we got Gray Merchant, it would be... I mean, we'd be way behind either way. We'd still be at 6 and take a bunch of damage. Yeah, I mean, you know, you can choose not to pay the life and tap Carnophage. And if one of their cards in their hand is a bolt, then we're just dead. Gataxian Probe. It's going to make his thing bigger and can attack now. So now they're going to draw a card. They'll have 4 cards in their hand. They're at 12. Ooh, boy. We really need a Gray Merchant badly. Badly. If we can survive this turn, we are really going to need a Gray Merchant. So we're going to attempt to unmake the big bug guy. Okay. So they just slow rolled us with a bolt. That was kind of stupid. I don't know why they did that.